This is ABC15 Mornings.
All new at 6 o'clock.
What is the best way to recognize this disease and how to manage it?
How PCH is working to help the world when it comes to a rare but serious condition.
Showing appreciation.
She's the Energizer Bunny. She is fueled from sunup to sundown by Diet Coke, and she loves these kids like they're her own.
Not all superheroes wear capes. Many of them educate our kids.
I said that I thought they were free.
When I originally registered on there, it said like free COVID testing.
Only on ABC 15 Mornings. More problems as people are told to pay for COVID vaccines.
Jammed up there by Allen. Finds Cam Johnson. Cutting! And a can slam!
5 wins in a row and going for number 6 tonight. The Suns heating up right before we head to the playoffs.
And paying for nostalgia.
You know, the 80s Barbies. You're seeing an increase in the early Cabbage Patch Kids.
Check the attic or your garage. Those old toys you have are skyrocketing in value. I got to tell you, up late last night looking through my garage and boxes, I did find a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Wow.
I know.
It's got to be worth something.
Well, she's all beat up. That's okay. I loved on her a lot back in the day. But you know what? It's just that hunt for something super fun. And we get to dream. Like, you wonder what it's worth, right? Hey, good morning to you. Thank you for starting your Wednesday with us. Kaylee O'Kelly here in studio. Our Nick Saletti is in the newsroom.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. Let's talk a little weather this morning and that most accurate forecast. Megan is in for Iris today. And Megan, I know we're going to be warming up.
We sure are, you guys, as we take a live look outside right now. Beautiful start to the day. I decided to match the sunrise, apparently, with my outfit choice at 72 degrees. I also decided to match it with the warm-up that we are anticipating today. A sizzling hot day with that sun beating down. 29 the dew point right now, winds right around 6 miles per hour. So for your Valley activity planner, I'm going to caution you on heading out to go running, hiking, or biking. Really anytime after 11 o'clock this morning. Just start early if you can. Also, we're struggling with the air quality today. An ozone high pollution advisory will be in effect, and it looks like we could very well see our first triple-digit day of the year today. So I'll walk you through that, and also when we will see a cool down coming our way. That's all still ahead in your full, most accurate forecast.
Okay, Megan, thank you. Today, a new strategy in the race to vaccinate more Americans. Efforts are shifting away from mass vaccination sites to a more targeted approach. The focus is now on areas with high demand and low access, as well as communities reluctant to get the shot. President Joe Biden wants 70% of the country with at least one dose by the 4th of July. Right now, about 32% of Americans are fully vaccinated. Happening this morning, the Valley Interfaith Project is kicking off a vaccination effort in Maryvale. Shots will be administered at the St. Vincent de Paul Church. There will be 2 more events the next 2 Wednesdays. Appointments are required.
The Pfizer vaccine could become available to kids as young as 12 by the end of the week. In Arizona, pediatric cases do make up about 16% of new cases. And meantime here, Pfizer executives have already said they hope to start vaccinating kids ages 2 to 11 by September. The company also adding that third dose or booster shots will likely begin early next year. So that brings us to this. The CDC does want to know more about MIS-C, or multi-system inflammatory syndrome in kids. It's linked to COVID-19 and one of 4 hospitals included in the research, Phoenix Children's. So this morning I go in depth with the experts taking part in this ABC 15 Health Insider report. Dr. Wasim Balan is no stranger to multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, also known as MIS-C. The ABC 15 Health Insider is an infectious disease doctor at Phoenix Children's. He's now on a team of medical experts selected by the CDC to investigate this rare but serious condition that affects children weeks after a COVID-19 infection or exposure.
So with Phoenix Children's, we're actually one of 4 hospital systems that are doing a study with the CDC to learn more about this reaction. Keep in mind, this is a reaction that we started seeing, in April and May of last year, initially in the UK and then in the US. So this is a relatively new disease.
The CDC says learning more about who is likely to be diagnosed with MIS-C and how often it happens is key to help provide guidance for all healthcare providers and parents.
We've built up more information and more, knowledge about how to manage this reaction. But we need to continue to do more studies on that reaction to see what is the best way to recognize this disease and how to manage it.
The Arizona Department of Health Services tells ABC15 since the beginning of the pandemic, 116 Miss C cases have been confirmed here in Arizona. 3 people have died.
And what we know so far, and this is something that all the studies so far are showing us, and including our experience here at Phoenix Children's, is that those patients usually are coming in with fever. More than 90% of them have abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, so any kind of GI illness. So that specific system seems to be the most commonly involved in this reaction after the infection.
A rash, difficulty breathing, headache, lip and tongue swelling, along with eye irritation, all warning signs for parents to watch for. Up to 5 weeks after a child is either exposed to COVID-19 or is recovering from the virus.
If you think that your child is sick, bring them to the emergency room. Obviously at Phoenix Children's, we've seen a lot of patients with this reaction, and the physicians are familiar with how to recognize this reaction now and how to manage it in the hospital.
Also want to let you know that according to the CDC, there are 36 deaths tied to Miss C here in this country, and the long-term effects, well, they are still unclear, which is part of why this study is happening. Do you have a question for our ABC15 Health Insider team? We hope that you will send your story ideas and your questions to Health Insider at abc15.com, and you can see all of our stories there at abc15.com/health.
Well, how do you pay for college? It's something that weighs on parents and students' minds as they move through high school. Governor Doug Ducey has signed a new law allowing community colleges to offer 4-year bachelor's degrees. For the first 4 years, this would only be at 5% of the total number of degrees offered. After that, it would be 10%. Each degree program has to prove there is a local workforce need.
Whatever we can do to help educate our children and make those costs go down for them so that they don't have to spend their entire lives trying to pay off debt that they've already created would be wonderful.
Maricopa County Community Colleges hope to offer the first 4-year degree programs in the fall of 2023.
Well, when schools closed last year, the struggle became very real for those of us who are parents, to become teachers really overnight. The experience, though, giving us a brand new appreciation for educators and what they do, what you do every year. So all new for you this morning, our Carla Navarrete is taking us to the Southeast Valley, where parents, students, and administrators are making sure that teachers feel the love this week.
For months before Teacher Appreciation Week, the students, parents, and administrators at Weinberg Gifted Academy were hard at work getting handmade posters, banners, capes, and shields made for their superheroes.
Getting all of the, we call them specials, art and technology and things like that. We got them involved to kind of behind the scenes secretly help us pull all of these things off so we could surprise the individual teachers.
These shields were made by the students in art class, and then notes like these with superhero messages in technology class.
To Miss Steving from Yvonne. Dear Miss Steving, how I think you are a superhero is you do super fun stuff in class. You help people when they need help, and you are the best teacher ever.
Melissa Munt is on the school's PTO. Her kindergartner is in Miss King's class.
She's the Energizer Bunny. She is fueled from sunup to sundown by Diet Coke, and she loves these kids like they're her own.
The superhero theme, she says, even more fitting this year with all the pivoting teachers had to do.
We just want them to know how much, as parents, as PTO, as students, that we appreciate everything they've done, and they've gone above and beyond to make our kids comfortable. Kids aren't used to wearing masks and sitting 6 feet apart, and the effort that they have put in, and they put in and day out, that we appreciate everything that they do more than they know.
Now, here's a fun fact about Teacher Appreciation Week. It started back in 1984, and it always runs the very first week in May. Now, you don't have to spend a lot of money letting your teacher know how much you appreciate her. A simple note can give her a lot more than anything money can buy. For now, reporting in the East Valley, I'm Carla Navarrete, ABC 15 Arizona.
All right, Carla, thank you for sharing that. Good. Up next here on ABC 15 Mornings, it is supposed to be a free and an easy process too. But so many of you are being hit with unexpected fees for a COVID test. And that's why our Let Joe Know team is demanding answers.
Plus, college kids are living on a tight budget. Posted on your bulletin board, 3 easy tips to reduce the cost of education.
Thanks for watching ABC 15 Arizona, streaming 24/7 on Roku and these streaming devices.
612 Arizona and a Peoria neighborhood. Moving fast, the people who live in this area to help the family from that burning home right there. Look at that. Andrew Marquez says he saw a guy run from the backyard saying he had been burned and that he couldn't find his little girl.
He was just yelling like, come outside, come outside. So then I immediately just ran right up into the walkway here. And she was just right, so when you walk in, she was just right to the right there sleeping. And I scooped her up and we came out.
I mean, thank God for good people here in Arizona. The man was rushed to the county burn unit, and we can tell you his daughter is going to be okay. But you can see that home is a total loss. A GoFundMe page is set up to help the family, and we have put that link with this story. It's up now at abc15.com.
Hyundai is asking some car owners to park their vehicles outside because of a fire risk. The company recalling its Santa Fe Sport SUVs from 2013 to 2015. The brake fluid can actually leak out, causing an electrical short that can lead to a fire. Dealerships will handle the fix and replacement parts.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
And let's take a look at that desert drive time traffic from Accident Law Group as we take a look at your morning commute. This is a live look at the 17 southbound at 19th Avenue, and you're seeing just your typical slow and go right now. No major crashes or delays to report.
Let's get a look now at that most accurate forecast. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm Megan Thompson, tracking it all for you. Expect a warm day today, above average for this time of year. So my best advice to you is to get out early if you can, because our morning lows and our overnight temperatures continue to be really, really nice. Here's what you'll feel if you step outside in Fountain Hills at 69 degrees, 64 in Apache Junction, Santan Valley. We're seeing those 50s, upper 50s in Gilbert at 59 degrees, 63 in Ahwatukee, 64 in Glendale, 66 degrees in Goodyear to the west, 64 in Buckeye, 62 in Wickenburg, and 64 degrees right now in Surprise. So here is how we warm up over the next few hours. Relatively quickly today. By that 8 o'clock hour, we'll still be in the 70s, but the upper 70s, and we'll jump into those 80s by 9 a.m. By 10 a.m., we're getting closer to that 90-degree mark, and then we'll get in there right around 11 a.m. at 91 degrees. Already by that noon hour, 94. We'll continue to climb from there. The high could be the very first day today that we see those triple digits this year, 100 degrees in Phoenix. The average is 91, so we are above average for this time of year. However, normally we see that first triple digit day right around May 2nd. So we've been dodging those triple digits left and right. We may not be able to avoid it today, even tomorrow, as high pressure is building in our forecast. As we look around the state for those highs today, 87 in Winslow, 79 in Window Rock and Show Low, 78 in Heber, 90s in Safford, 80s along the rim, 70s to the north in spots like Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon, 83 in Prescott, 100 degrees, Gila Bend hanging out with the valley there, 101 in Bullhead City, and mostly those 90s and other spots to the west along the Colorado River Valley. So here's this high pressure on Futurecast that I was just talking about that's raising those temperatures above average. As we move Futurecast in motion later on this week and into the weekend, we see this low pressure system very far to the north of us. So not bringing us any rain or snow potential, but increasing those winds and also dropping our temperatures back more near the normal range for this time of year. I know it's Mother's Day weekend coming up, so it's something you want to keep in mind heading into that weekend. It'll be a little bit cooler and breezier. Something else I want to warn you about is that air quality. Because of those winds, we'll hopefully see some help in this because we do have an ozone high pollution advisory today. So keep that in mind, but some relief is coming in the next couple of days with that disturbance far to the north. So today and tomorrow, those triple digits, the first ones of the year, then 98 degrees on Friday. And then we start to drop off further into the weekend, like I mentioned, to start the work week next week, 94 degrees.
Okay, thanks, Megan. 617. Our Let Joe Know team has been getting refunds for people billed for those COVID-19 vaccines. All new for you this morning, Joe Ducey is hearing from others stuck paying new patient and office visit fees for COVID tests.
As more people get COVID vaccines, some are still fighting bills they received months ago for COVID tests.
The amount that they're saying is due is $127.
Tammy Delgado says that's how much Banner Health is billing her daughter for a drive-through COVID test last year.
I said that I thought they were free.
When I originally registered on there, it said like free COVID testing.
Catherine Welch says she got a drive-up COVID test through Embry Women's Health in January.
I didn't expect to get anything until I got this in the mail.
It's a bill for $82.90. Just like COVID vaccines, COVID tests should also be free to anyone. Providers get paid by the insurer or the government. People we hear from are not getting charged for the test, but for the process.
If they come in, they say, you've never been to this office before, we're just going to run through some things, that should send off a warning bell.
Caitlin Donovan is with the nonprofit National Patient Advocate Foundation and says some providers are charging creative fees. We asked her to look at these bills.
They were charging for a new patient visit instead of just for testing, was a concern to me.
That's Catherine's bill. Embry Women's Health charging $82 for a new patient office visit.
All I did was go through a drive-through COVID test.
We took that to Embry Women's Health, and they agree, saying the bill was a mistake sent out by a vendor. They say Catherine nor anyone else owes them for any COVID test-related charges. As for Tammy,
at that time, I was told they were paying for the nurse.
But her daughter's $127 bill from Banner Health shows an office outpatient charge. Banner Health says they can't comment specifically for privacy reasons, but say they bill insurance companies for the cost of administering COVID tests, saying it's up to the insurer if they cover the costs. So protect yourself.
Call the office ahead of time and say, I'm looking for a COVID test. What would my out-of-pocket cost be?
If you're charged, contest it with your insurer. And Caitlin says, wait to pay a medical bill.
Half of the bills we see have mistakes in them.
Embry Women's Health says they only charge for the rapid COVID test, and that's paid on site. If anybody else received a COVID test-related bill, you need to get in touch with them. And the National Patient Advocate Foundation has funds set up to help with COVID costs. Go to abc15.com/letjoeknow to see if you qualify. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. You got a problem? Let me know.
Joe Ducey, thank you. It's graduation season, and we know thousands of young adults will embark on their college journeys in the coming months. But before you go, we want to make sure you have these 3 easy tips to save money on expenses, and that's what's making our bulletin board today. First, don't buy new textbooks. See if you can borrow them from friends or classmates. Also, sites like Amazon even let you rent textbooks for the semester. Just make sure you return them on time. I've done this for grad school. Next, never leave home without that student ID. Hundreds of retailers are eager to shell out the savings, like Apple and J.Crew. Finally, visit your local bank or credit union. They probably have checking and savings accounts specifically for students with low fees and no minimum balances. And that's what's on our bulletin board this morning, helping you save some money.
I like that. Thank you. All right, willing to pay to feel like a kid again for a piece of our childhood. Coming up, why so many of you are looking to spend to find the toys of our past.
And betting on the vaccine, we may not be out of this pandemic just yet, but some Vegas casinos are ready to welcome back visitors at full capacity.
All right, your stuff might be worth a lot if you have old toys or maybe baseball cards and they're tucked away in a closet or a storage bin. Maybe they're in your garage. That stuff could come with a major payday as long as you're willing to sell. Classic toys are back in a big way.
This is what I consider the doll room.
Dolls are in high demand.
You know, the 80s Barbies, you're seeing an increase in the early Cabbage Patch Kids.
Mom?
Gen Xers are looking for the toys of their youth.
We start to reflect what the best times in our lives were. Those are the toys that we go after.
In the original box, some are worth hundreds. Among them, 1970s Barbies, 1980s Cabbage Patch dolls, early American Girl dolls, Chrissy and Dawn dolls, and African American Christy dolls. In general, African American dolls are seeing a huge increase in value.
When she brings her little girl to visit, she gets to play with them.
Margie Schultz with dollclubs.com believes people working at home have sparked this new interest.
I think that those who still have jobs are buying like crazy.
G.I. Joe or He-Man figures can be worth $50 or $100 right now.
He-Man and G.I. Joe sometimes right now sell more than the Star Wars.
Hot Wheels are another hot collectible.
This one's a 1970 Camaro. That one's $80.
The hottest collectible of all, though, right now, vintage cards. Early Pokemon cards have sold for thousands, and baseball cards are on fire.
A card like this is worth thousands of dollars.
That's a Pete Rose rookie card.
Some of these expensive high-end cards like Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, they're 5 and 10 times what they were a year ago.
Okay, so there you have it. A 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie card did sell for $5 million this year. So yeah, it might be a good time to check your closets.
There you go. Hey, it could pay out. Hey, a new immersive cocktail bar is opening up in Arcadia. This morning, we're getting a sneak peek at what it's going to look like. 36 Below is located underneath Sip Coffee and Beer near 36th Street and Indian School. 36 Below will transport guests to different locations using wall-to-wall video screens and audio-visual effects. The plan is to open early this summer. I went to the original one, and it was pretty cool.
Wow, that is cool. Takes you to a whole new place. Why not? Well, we all know dating can be really difficult, especially when you're trying to get to know someone online.
Well, now Tinder is out with a new feature to help you find a good match. Vibes is a short quiz that asks simple questions, then your answers will appear in profiles or of anyone who is taking the same quiz as you.
And Tinder executives are saying that tests of the new feature here show that increases likes here and matches all the way across the board. Up next at 6:30, the largest drop in nearly 50 years. The U.S. birth rate falls dramatically in the past year. So this morning we take an in-depth look at why more people are choosing not to become parents.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mark Thompson in downtown Phoenix, where Cinco de Mayo is back this year, but with a twist. I'll show you how they're combining the celebration with getting your COVID shot. I'll explain coming up.